Welcome to Infidelity Truths. Before we dive into today's gripping story, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more thrilling stories just for you. Let's begin.
It was a Tuesday evening, the kind of quiet night where the hum of the refrigerator feels louder than it should. I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth, the minty foam tingling against my gums, when I heard my daughter's voice from the living room. Emma, my 9-year-old, was reading aloud in her sweet sing-song cadence, the kind she used when she was practicing for school plays or narrating her favorite storybooks. "Can't wait to feel your hands on me again. Last night was unforgettable. When will your wife be out of the house next?" The toothbrush froze in my mouth. My heart lurched, a sickening thud against my ribs. For a moment the world tilted, the edges of my vision blurring. I spat into the sink, the foam splattering against the porcelain, and wiped my face with trembling hands. My bare feet slapped against the hardwood as I sprinted to the living room, my pulse roaring in my ears. There she was, Emma, standing in the center of the rug, her small hands clutching my phone like it was a cherished book. Her wide, innocent eyes were filled with confusion, her brow furrowed as if she were trying to solve a puzzle. And there was Nathan, my husband of 12 years, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, his face an unreadable mask. He didn't move. He didn't speak. He just watched me, his silence sharper than any scream. My phone buzzed again in Emma's hands. Another message lighting up the screen. Another message from Evan. Another message I hadn't deleted. My stomach churned, acid rising in my throat. Nathan's eyes flicked to the phone, then back to me, and in that moment I knew. He wasn't going to yell. He wasn't going to throw things or demand answers. No, Nathan was going to dismantle me. Slowly, methodically, with a terrifying calm that made my skin crawl. I should start at the beginning, though, before Evan. Before I let my marriage rot while pretending everything was fine. Before I became the kind of person who could break her family apart. Nathan and I met in college, in a crowded lecture hall during a sociology class neither of us cared about. He was the quiet guy in the back, always scribbling notes, his glasses slipping down his nose. I was the one who talked too much, always raising my hand with half-formed ideas. Somehow we clicked. He liked my energy, I liked his steadiness. After graduation we moved in together. A tiny apartment with mismatched furniture, and a leaky faucet we never fixed. By the time we were 30, we had Emma, our bright, curious girl who inherited Nathan's quiet intensity and my knack for storytelling. The first few years of marriage were good, really good. Nathan was dependable, the kind of man who'd stay up late fixing a broken toy for Emma or spend hours researching the best preschool. He wasn't flashy or romantic, no grand gestures or candlelit dinners, but he loved us fiercely in his own way. He'd leave me little notes on the fridge, practical things like "don't forget the dry cleaning" or "Emma needs new shoes." But they felt like love letters because they showed he was paying attention. I, on the other hand, craved fire. I wanted surprise weekend getaways, whispered confessions in the dark, passion that made my heart race. I wanted to feel seen not just as a wife or a mother but as me. After Emma was born, the distance between us grew. Nathan threw himself into his work as a financial analyst, spending long hours poring over spreadsheets, his mind always half in numbers. I was drowning in motherhood, diapers, tantrums, and endless loads of laundry, while working part-time as a graphic designer. Our evenings became a routine of cold dinners in front of the TV, Nathan scrolling through his phone, me staring blankly at the screen. I stopped trying to initiate date nights. He stopped noticing. I told myself I was still a good wife. I kept the house clean, smiled at PTA meetings, and faked sleep when he reached for me in bed, my body stiff with resentment. Then came Evan. He started at my office last spring, a new hire in the marketing department. He was charming, with a quick smile and a way of looking at you that made you feel like the only person in the room. The first time he flirted, it was subtle, a compliment on my presentation, a lingering glance. I laughed it off, my cheeks warm, but it felt good. Too good. The second time I didn't push back. I leaned into it, letting his attention fill the hollow spaces Nathan had left behind. It started with messages, innocent at first, just work-related banter. But soon they turned personal. Long conversations about dreams we'd abandoned, jokes that felt like secrets, teasing that made my pulse quicken. I told myself it was harmless, just a spark to get me through the monotony. That it wasn't harmless. The first time it got physical was after a late night at the office. We'd stayed to finish a project, just the two of us, the office quiet except for the hum of the air conditioning. One moment we were laughing over a typo in a client brief. The next his hand was on mine and I didn't pull away. It happened again a week later, then again. It became a habit, a secret I carried like a stone in my chest. I justified it by telling myself Nathan didn't care, that we were practically roommates, that I deserved this thrill. I ignored the guilt that gnawed at me when I saw Nathan's eyes linger on me when I came home late, or when he asked softly, "Who's texting you at this hour?" Or, "You seem different lately. Everything okay?" Elite. Over and over I lied. The night Nathan asked to borrow my phone was the first crack in my carefully built facade. His phone was dead, and he needed to check something for work. I hesitated, my fingers tightening around the device. He noticed. His eyes narrowed just for a second, but he didn't say anything. I handed it over, my heart pounding, and told myself he wouldn't look. He didn't say a word that night, and I thought I'd dodged a bullet. Maybe he didn't want to know. Maybe he trusted me too much. He didn't trust me at all. It was a Sunday afternoon. A week later, when it all unraveled. I'd gone to take a shower, leaving my phone on the coffee table. Nathan saw the notification light up. Another message from Evan, one I hadn't deleted. He didn't confront me right away. Instead, he did something far worse. He handed the phone to Emma and asked her to read the messages aloud, like it was a game, like they were sharing a funny story. Emma, sweet and oblivious, thought it was a chance to play grown-up. She didn't understand the words she was reading, but she felt the weight of them. By the time I reached the living room, my world was already in flames. "Nathan," I choked out, my voice barely a whisper. "Give me the phone." He took it from Emma's hands and handed it to me without meeting my eyes. Then he knelt down, kissed her forehead, and said, "Go draw something in your room, sweetheart." His voice was steady, but there was a coldness in it I'd never heard before. Emma scampered off, clutching her crayons, and I stood there, trembling, the phone burning in my hand. The silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. "How long?" Nathan asked, his voice calm, like he was asking about the weather. How long, Madison?" I stared at the floor, my throat tight. "Almost 6 months." He didn't flinch. "With Evan?" I nodded, barely able to breathe. "Yes." Another silence, longer this time, like a blade slowly twisting. "Do you love him?" "No," I said too quickly. "I don't even know why I did it." That was a lie, and we both knew it. I did it because I was selfish, because I wanted to feel alive again, because I was too weak to face the rot in our marriage and fix it. Nathan nodded, as if he'd expected that answer. Then he said, "You have 1 week to tell Emma the truth, or I will." My knees buckled. "You wouldn't, Nathan. She's 9. She doesn't. She understands betrayal just fine." He cut in, his voice still eerily calm. "She just watched her mother panic over a message from another man. Don't pretend she doesn't feel it already." The next week was a descent into hell. I couldn't sleep, my dreams haunted by Emma's confused eyes and Nathan's cold silence. I couldn't eat, the taste of food turning to ash in my mouth. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror without seeing a stranger. A woman who'd traded her family for a fleeting thrill. I tried to find a way to tell Emma without shattering her world, but every version of the truth felt like a knife. Nathan meant what he said. Exactly 7 days later, he sat her down on the couch, her small hands folded in her lap, and told her. "Mommy made a mistake," he said, his voice gentle but firm. "A mistake that hurt our family. We're going to take some time apart so we can all heal." He didn't say the word affair, but Emma's face crumpled, her eyes darting to me, then away. She didn't speak to me for 2 days. She'd sit at the kitchen table, coloring silently, her little shoulders hunched. When I tried to hug her, she'd stiffen, pulling away just enough to break my heart. Nathan moved out the next day, to his brother's apartment across town. We agreed to split custody, but I could feel his distrust in every interaction. He coordinated pickups and drop-offs with military precision, his texts curt and businesslike. The worst wasn't the divorce papers that arrived a month later, though those felt like a punch to the gut. The worst was Emma's drawings. She'd always loved to draw bright, chaotic pictures of our family, with smiling stick figures and lopsided hearts. Now her drawings changed. She started sketching our family with only 2 people. Her and Nathan, holding hands under a sunny sky. Or she'd draw me on one side of a page, alone, separated from them by a thick, jagged line. One night I found a drawing on my pillow. A stick figure with tears streaming down its face, a broken heart above its head. Emma lives with me during the week and spends weekends with Nathan. She's doing better. She smiles more, laughs at her favorite cartoons, even hugs me sometimes. But there are moments that remind me she's still carrying the weight of my choices. She'll pause when my phone buzzes, her eyes flicking to the screen. She flinches at raised voices, even if it's just a neighbor shouting in the distance. Once, when I tried to talk to her about Nathan, she said, "I don't want to talk about sad things, Mommy. I've started therapy, trying to understand why I let myself destroy what mattered most. I'm learning to live with the guilt, to accept that some wounds don't fully heal." Nathan's dating someone new now, a kindergarten teacher named Sarah who Emma talks about sometimes, her voice bright but cautious. I'm happy for him in a way, but it stings to know he's rebuilding while I'm still sifting through the ashes. The other day, Emma drew a new picture. It was the three of us, Nathan, her and me, standing together under a tree. The lines were shaky, the colors muted, but we were on the same side of the page. No walls, no broken hearts. Just us trying to find our way back to something whole. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but for the first time in a long time I let myself hope.